All right. Like it's a reaction video. You asked for it, so here it is. My top 25 epics in Raid. Yes, some of these champs you've definitely seen around, but here's the thing. A ton of players have them just sitting in the vault collecting dust. Big mistake. So fill a bowl with a snack, get comfy, and let's dive into the lineup I put together for you. First, let's talk about the most important thing. Most of these epics, you can actually grab them just by playing the game. You'll pull them from shards, earn them through different activities, and a few of them, you can even snag them through a newbie promo code. And don't worry, wherever there's a champ you can get for free, I'm your boy. I'll drop the code or the method so you don't miss out. I don't like spending money. Oh, and stick around till the end because I put together a full tier list of these champions so you can see exactly who's a cut above the rest. All right, let's not milk this any longer. Let's get right at it. First up, Geomancer. This little maniac of a dwarf is hands down one of the strongest epics in the game, all thanks to his passive that reflects damage from HP burn. He slaps enemies with HP burn, weakness, and even throws in an accuracy debuff. But here's the real kicker with Geomancer. He can strip buffs right off your enemies, which makes him insanely useful in about half the game's content. You'll see him shining on Clan Boss, certain dungeons, and even Doom Tower runs. Let's talk about Rector Drath. Easily one of the best support champs out there, and the crazy part, you can grab her for free through the link in the description. And she even comes with resources, plus the epic Faye. Mama Drath's a straight-up lifesaver. She throws Veil on allies to cut incoming damage. She revives, and she's always pumping out heals. Having this kind of busted support in your squad is a total must for any beginner. She's clutch for Hydra, dungeons, the campaign, and even arena fights. Seer. This champion's basically the queen of wave clearing. Well, really, that's her whole deal. Her signature move, she strips all buffs off your team, converts them into a massive attack boost, and then just nukes the entire enemy wave into the ground. Perfect for deleting mobs in seconds. On top of that, she can sleep, weaken, and even toss a crit rate buff to your squad. You'll see her run dungeons packed with trash mobs, Doom Tower, and sometimes even in Cursed City. Man-Eater. Look at this big ogre. He's the backbone of pretty much every unkillable comp out there. If you've ever watched those videos where Demon Lord takes hundreds of millions of damage, chances are there's one or even two man-eaters making it happen. Why? Because he gives the team unkillable and block debuffs, which, when timed right, keep your squad alive forever. Outside of clan boss comps, he's still useful here and there, arena, certain dungeons, but his real claim to fame is fueling those insane damage runs. Deacon Armstrong. Check him out, a super versatile support champ. The only bummer, he doesn't revive. But he more than makes up for it by boosting your team's turn meter, chopping down the enemies, and even letting your squad heal up thanks to his leech debuff. On top of that, he drops defense down, which cranks your team's damage through the roof. He's a solid pick for arena, dungeons, and Doom Tower runs. Let's keep the ratings going. Godseeker and Neri. Easily one of the best supports in the entire game, no debate. She's got not one, but two revive skills, plus double heals, and on top of that, she boosts turn meter. And here's the deal. Once you max out her skills with books, she turns into a straight-up monster support. She's a must-have for Sand Devil, absolutely clutch in Doom Tower, a nightmare to deal with in arena, and an MVP pick for Hydra. Ugo. Another silent support beast, especially against Hydra. Why? Because he brings block damage, a full team revive, solid healing, and a nasty set of debuffs, defense down, block buffs, and leech. He's basically a Swiss Army knife of utility. Take him into Hydra. Doom Tower waves. Throw him into trouble. Annex, one of the best poison dealers in the game. And the crazy part is he doesn't need a full team to shine. When his HP drops, he buffs himself, takes an extra turn, heals off his own damage, and lays down 3-turn poisons like it's nothing. Clan boss, dungeons, campaign, anywhere poison works, Annex is a monster. And here's the kicker. You can grab Annex and Lightsworn through the link in the description right down below. And that's an exclusive bonus just for mid-game viewers. Glad you're here. Thanks. High five. High five. Demitha. She's basically a specialist, and her specialty is unkillable comps. Why? Because she's got block damage, continuous heals, and her big trick is extending buffs on allies. On top of that, her A1 throws a shield on your weakest champ and even heals him up. Since she's built for unkillable teams, you can line her up in those crazy clan boss rotations, and she also shines in Doom Tower and against Al-Mama. Toragi the Frog. Fun fact, he used to be available through a promo code, completely free. Subscribers here know that. High five, you're welcome. And this champ's a hybrid, part support, part tank. He taunts enemies into hitting him, buffs himself, and the team takes less damage. And for beginners, he's straight up busted. Hit me, hit me. For veterans, he's still super handy. Clan boss, certain dungeons, and Hydra are all places where this frog really pulls his weight. Royal Guard, an absolute must-have damage dealer for any mode with beefy bosses. His A2 smacks based on the enemy's max HP. Think of him as a richer, fancier version of Coldheart. And he's not just a boss killer. His A3 plus defense down and speed buffs let him shred through enemy waves too. You'll want him for Demon Lord, Dragon, Spider, and Doom Tower. Why, Doom Tower, that's where this dude really shines. Madame Ceres. This Dark Elf is one of the top control champs in the entire game, especially for Arena. Like Grace Cherish, she strips all buffs off enemies, drops their attack and defense, and shuts them down with fear and true fear, so they can't even use their skills. She's been a powerhouse since day one, and she's still a go-to pick. Perfect for Arena and Doom Tower whenever you need control. Skull Crown. Pretty straightforward. She's a nuker with big AoE damage, but she really shines when you run her with Sancha. Why? Because when her HP drops below 20%, she automatically revives herself and slaps on an unkillable buff. Put her in a tanky squad and you've got yourself a budget unkillable setup for clan boss, a heavy hitter for Arena, or even a solid campaign farmer. Let's talk about Allure. This demoness is the perfect turn meter control champ. Absolutely clutch against Fire Knight. He's got the hots for her. Her big specialty, she ignores part of enemy defense, and her A1 chops off a massive 75% of the target's turn meter. She's action. That alone makes her insane for Fire Knight, but she's also super useful in Doom Tower and against Spider. Tyrell. A rock-solid tank and debuffer who's been a fan favorite since, forever. He brings the basics you always need, defense down and attack down. Nothing flashy, but super reliable. Tyrell is tough, consistent, and works in basically every game mode, no matter the difficulty. Plus, he's easy to gear, which makes him perfect for players at any stage. Do yourself a favor, consider Tyrell. Sand-Lashed Survivor. She's a tank with Provoke and some seriously clutch support skills. Her block damage and ally protection buffs give your team crazy survivability in tough fights. And on top of that, she mass reduces enemy buff durations while extending the ones on your allies. Super valuable utility. Who can't use that kind of help? She really comes into her own in late game content. Miscreated Monster. The king of stuns and crowd control. New to you, huh? Cool. His whole kit is about locking enemies down with constant stuns and fears while healing himself at the same time. For his team, he brings shield and ally protection, making him tanky and supportive. He's a total menace in Arena, a clutch pick against spiders, and a frequent guest in Doom Tower. Duck the Pierced. He's built to soak up damage and keep enemies locked down with Provoke. On top of that, he's packing the basics. Defense down, decrease accuracy, and decrease attack. He's universal, easy to gear, and honestly works pretty much anywhere you drop him in. Mordecai. One of the best HP burn champs you can get as a beginner or mid-game player. His big trick? Locking down enemy turn meters while they're under HP burn. And he even brings an attack buff for your team. And the best part, new players can grab him through a promo code. Sure, veterans might not need him since they've already got stacked rosters, but for new players, Mordecai, huge win. Husk. Undead faction champ with some seriously nasty AoE damage. He's got Provoke. Plus, His hits scale off the enemy's max HP, well, and that makes him a must-have for Hydra and any boss with a giant health bar. White Dryad Naya. A fusion champ from the past and an absolute stellar support, she slows enemies, heals allies, cleanses all debuffs, and the big one, she brings ally protection and strengthens in a ton of fights. Landing this epic, it's pure luck nowadays, and since she's void affinity, you can literally take her anywhere, cross your fingers, look for her. Bracken the Fat. This is one champ every player should want in their roster. Sadly, he's only available from shards for now, but trust me, dude's worth it. He drops HP burn and poisons, buffs your team's crit rate, and lets the whole squad pile on with extra hits against bosses. On top of that, his passive spreads 20% of the damage taken across the team, making him insanely versatile in a ton of game modes. Ursine Ice Crusher. This bear is built for arena, but don't sleep on him in PvE either. He cuts down the crit damage your team takes, locks out enemy active skills, and even speeds himself up. With the right build, he's solid anywhere, and yes, he can even put in work on Hydra. Archmage Helmut. Good news, you can actually farm his fragments right in Doom Tower, and he comes loaded with an insane kit. He dishes out 3 buffs, speeds himself up, slows enemies down, and can't even be slowed down himself. He's not too hard to get, but the impact he brings is huge. Drop him into arena, dragon, or spider. Archmage Helmut. He'll put in serious work. Jamarsa. A barbarian support who you can grab completely free just by inviting friends. To Jam Marsa, her whole kit is about debuffs and keeping allies alive. She mass revives, heals, and fills turn meters. She pairs best with Cronham for maximum value, but even without him, she's still a strong carry. She's especially good in arena and in dungeons against bosses where survivability is everything. As you can see, there are plenty of new faces in this lineup. Some of them you can grab straight from the link in the description, some through promo codes, and others just by grinding the right activities in-game, all completely free. And from all of this, I put together my own tier list of these epics, showing their real value in the game. At the top, you'll see the most universal champs, the ones that fit into almost any team. Below that are the solid picks, but more niche because of their skill sets. And at the bottom, the ones that are basically outdated. Champs that used to shine once upon a time or got nerfed into the ground by the devs. And that's the video, team. Thanks a ton for watching. Watch it twice if you need to, and don't forget, the links for grabbing some of these awesome epics are always down in the description. Create your account and start the game with a real edge. You know how to play, now bring some tools to the game when you do. Also, make sure you hit that sub button, drop a like, and check out the other videos I picked out for you. I love all the comments. Thanks for watching. I know you'll enjoy these videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.